Hi witches, so today I want to talk to you all about technopaganism, and I feel like this is a term that was really used a lot like in the late 90s, early 2000s, like when the internet was like first like becoming a thing. And it's really a term used for pagans or witches who subsist or exist really on the internet. So they don't really have like all sorts of like in-person tools, but they use like the internet as a space to like have their book of shadows and to have like their sacred space and stuff like that. As the internet has evolved, I think that most of us can be considered technopagans. I consume a lot of, by you consuming this media right now and me filming this and putting it up, that in and of itself is like witchcraft on the internet. So I think the term has changed a little bit, but I just want to talk about how you as a witch can use the internet to the best of your ability. So there are tons of online resources everywhere. I really recommend starting to listen to like witchy podcasts. I talk about Witch Wednesdays all the time. I really like what they're doing. I also like the Fat Feminist Witch podcast. She doesn't post as frequently, so there are sometimes like bigger gaps, but her content is always really amazing. I actually have her book that I bought on accident, I think. And I didn't realize until I saw the book and was like, oh, I'm gonna get that one. It's about green witchcraft. And then I flipped over, like I ordered it, came to my house, I flipped it over and I was like, oh, the creator of the Fat Feminist Witch podcast. And I was like, oh, that's a hilarious coincidence. So I really like what she's doing, what she talks about, and it's pretty cool. There are tons out there. If you're just discovering witchcraft like now, please know how lucky you are, because when I was, really getting into it, like 2009, 2010, I guess, maybe, is that right? I don't know, early to mid 2000s, or 2000, whatever. You know what I'm saying, 10 years ago. I love podcasts. I've always loved podcasts. I really like serialized like audio fiction. So I started looking into like witchcraft podcasts, and I found like one on Apple Podcasts at the time on my iPod Touch or whatever. So just know there are tons of resources out there, and you might have to sift through a couple, but Spotify has like 1,000,001. So good luck. The next thing I recommend is just like really starting to follow like witchy people on Instagram, seeing how they work, how their practice is. Not in terms of like comparing yourself to them, but in terms of like taking ideas, right? Not taking, but sharing ideas. Because I don't think that like, unless you're like directly like straight up, like if you took this, like it took an image of this and then copied it to a T, then I would probably be like really creeped out. But if you're like, oh, I like that she used like novena candles as like her goddess candles. I got them at the dollar store, by the way, just saying. No one's gonna care, right? So just follow like witchy Instagram. Some Instagrams that like Instagram and like one Tumblr. I'm not sure if she's on Instagram anymore or ever was, but Lupa Greenwolf on Tumblr/Instagram. I really like what she does. She's just like a very wholesome, like I just get good vibes from her. I don't know, but she has a couple books and she talks about like green witchcraft and like herbalism and stuff. So that one's good. But for more, I don't know, like Gen Zers like me, witchy tips on Instagram is pretty cool. Like it's really like short bites of like witchy information. They talk about like moon phases and holidays and stuff like that. So those are just two good ones that I know of. There are dozens out there, and I just don't want to name too many and like forget one person's favorite and just be like, The next thing I want to talk about is like Witch Talk, which is Witch TikTok, and I am on there technically, yes, but I just want to say, even though I'm on there, please take everything with a grain of salt. These are the people who tried to hex the moon. So another great resource is YouTube. I'm sure by doing a quick Google search or just seeing whatever recommended videos come up under this one can help you like connect with some other great witchy YouTubers. As much as I'm like on here like on YouTube, like making videos, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't like to like sit and like watch something. I have to be doing 8 other things. Like I have to be like knitting and also doing the dishes and like writing a book at the same time. I just can't sit there and watch stuff. It's terrible. So YouTube, you can pretty much learn anything on YouTube at this point. I think we can, see that. But there's also like documentaries about the history of witchcraft and like early pagans. So definitely like check that stuff out. It's really, really invaluable, and it's cool because it's like right there at your fingertips. So yeah. Okay, there's a new website that I've seen kind of floating around, and it's called Amino, and I am not part of this. It looks like a nightmare, to be honest. There's too many things going on at once, like when I go on the page and I can't read anything. I also just don't know how to use the website, so I'm sure there's a way to turn all of that off. But basically, you can look up an Amino, like it's like it's kind of like a Discord, but like it's a forum. I don't really know. It's a forum, and it's a chat room also, so you can kind of interact in live time with like real witches and different people, which is really cool. There's a general one for paganism, and I see like a lot of like younger witches, like I think 14, 15, 16, so like I feel like an old crone, and also like newer witches. So that website scares me a little bit. I haven't been on there, but I do have a Discord. If you guys want to join it, we talk about witchy topics every single day. Just DM me for the link and I will send it to you. Other than that, there are like Facebook groups, and I know Facebook is like a dinosaur and no one is actually on it anymore, but if you're looking for like an online coven or like a local coven specifically, especially local stuff, definitely I would recommend looking at like Facebook. Maybe like type in your county and like witch or like witches after it, and you might find something. So yeah. So now that we've talked about social media for a little bit, let's talk about some apps that might be good for you guys to download and are easy to like, especially if you're in the broom closet, they're kind of easy to like no one's gonna, I mean, I don't personally know. If someone's gonna go through your phone, maybe don't get these, but these are not all necessarily like witch-based apps. They're just kind of witch adjacent. So yeah. The first one I recommend is Skywalk, which is like a stargazing app, and it actually shows you like the astrological like signs, like, and then the stars in them. I don't know how to explain that, but if I am pointing my phone at the sky to look at the Scorpio constellation, it'll show me a scorpion, right? And then like where all the stars are. It's really cool. I really like Skywalk. I also recommend getting either the Golden Thread Tarot or the Labyrinthos app. I believe it's by the same company, to be honest with you, or the same like developer. And it allows you to do tarot readings like right on your app, like on your phone. So I just think that it's cool. If you are looking for witchy communities, Discord is a great app for that. Again, like I said, I have a Discord. If you want me to invite you or send you the invite link, just DM me. And we talk about witch stuff, and we have like different topics and different like sub like categories that you talk about, like crystals and stuff like that. But you can find witchy communities everywhere. The only reason that I'm asking you to DM me for the link is not because I'm going to say absolutely not. I just don't want like creeps to like come in there and like spam the chat. So I'm trying to keep everyone make sure that everyone who wants to be there can be there, but also that like there's no bad people in the chat. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, there are moon phase apps. You can literally just type in moon phase to the app store, whatever app store, and there are dozens of them. Pick any one of them. They're all pretty much using the same science. I think mine is just called like moon phase, and it has like a moon on it. There are plant growing apps for green witches. So if you're terrible at remembering to water stuff or like overwater, etc., it can give you ideas on, or give you care instructions for your various plants, where you just type in the information, take a picture of it, it'll even identify it for you. So I think there's tons of stuff like that. The one that I'm most familiar with is Plant Snap. I don't really use it, but I think it would be cool. I kind of just intuitively know about my plants. I don't know how to explain that. They grow and I exist. I don't know. The final app that I really recommend is getting like the Calm app or one of those guided meditation apps, because like those are tailored for guided meditation or like sleep stories and stuff like that. You can definitely find them on like YouTube or Spotify, but like then you could be scrolling for like an hour trying to find the exact one, where I feel like the Calm app or like other guided meditation apps are a little bit more laser focused, so they might be easier to navigate. So those are just some recommendations. Broom closet witches, I recommend getting like either like Evernote or the Google Docs app, because you can actually make a book of shadows that is password protected, so people who don't know the password can't get into it. This is kind of great for people who just like don't like to keep books. Church bells ringing, sorry guys. If you don't want to keep a book of shadows, totally fine. And if you're like worried about someone finding it, don't be like me. Don't like keep it hidden and then have your parents raid your room and like throw it away. But it's a good alternative to that. And then eventually you can like export it and like have it like in a physical form if that's what you want. The next thing I recommend is you can kind of create your own like sacred space like on Pinterest. So if you go in and like type in like, I don't know, green witch aesthetic or whatever, it'll bring you like 1,000,001 images, and if you pin that to a board, you can kind of go back and look for inspiration for like maybe setting intention, just like creating an area where you feel like most represents you. You can make manifestation boards or vision boards in Pinterest for manifestation or vision work. You can, as an aside, on your actual phone, you can have a phone screen, like a lock screen or a home screen or whatever, that has a sigil for like protection, for communication, for whatever you want on it. So you can actually like kind of enchant your phone background, which is really cool. So anyways, I hope this gives you guys some ideas. There are like tons and tons and tons and tons of resources out there, but it is always up to you to decide how you're going to incorporate that information to your practice. So witchcraft is like art to me, basically, which means it's 100% subjective. My experience may not be the same as yours at all. And that's a-okay, you know? It's your practice and your spirituality is your own. So, you know, when we're talking about the internet and resources, I don't want people to like, you might run into people who are like kind of gatekeepy and like not nice, but if you can push past that and really just get down to like the bare bones of like the information that you need to make your practice, and you take kind of everything with a grain of salt, the internet is a great place for that, and I really recommend it. I hope these videos are helpful. It's kind of part of like technopaganism. But yeah, I really want to touch on this with the intent of like helping witches who are in the broom closet, because with the advent of the internet and everything, it's so much easier to practice now. And it feels like everyone and their mother is practicing witchcraft, which is great. So yeah, just be like wary of like people out there who may be, you know, judgy or kind of giving false information, or, you know, propagating certain ideologies. Just be careful with that, and yeah, just explore as much as you can. I'll see you guys later. Bye.